This is an extract from Brigadier General Brenton Wallace's book, Patton and his Third Army. The staff itself is divided into 4 principal sections. These are called General Staff Sections, G1, G2, G3 and G4. G1 is responsible for personnel, G2 for the military intelligence, G3 for operations and training, and G4 for supply and evacuation. In large headquarters, there's recently also been added a G5 who has charge of civil affairs, displaced persons, etc. The appearance of activity was frequently designed to impress someone higher up, and the job was really a clock-punching one. Not so in the Third Army headquarters, however. Nothing was done there for show or appearance. Everything was practical and for a purpose. The old man hated show and sham. He was interested in one thing only, efficiency, and his spirit permeated the whole organisation. You had a feeling that the Third Army was going in only one direction, forward. My own assignment in the headquarters was Assistant Chief of Staff G3 Liaison. I was responsible for locating and placing in covered accommodation all Third Army troops, numbering some 325,000 throughout the United Kingdom. Again in Normandy, in the unbelievably congested area of the Cherbourg Peninsula, all Third Army units had to be placed in fields, orchards and woods. General Patton and his Chief of Staff were flown across the Channel to France on July the 4th. Late in the afternoon of the same day, the headquarters started by motor down to the port of Southampton in the embarkation area to board the ships for the passage across the Channel. As we neared the port, our column moved slower and finally came to a halt in the centre of the city. Despite the light, we finally realised it was almost midnight and decided that we'd probably be stuck there for the rest of the night. So we tried to make the best of it. We all had our own motor equipment, of course, for we had been made independently mobile for the campaign. I personally had my own jeep and trailer and my sergeant driver. All of my equipment, including my command post tent, bedding, roll and other personal belongings, as well as those belonging to my driver, were in the trailer covered with a tarpaulin. Earlier in the evening we had become pretty hungry, so opened some K rations and ate them for the first time. They were supposed to be full of vitamins, but to us they tasted terrible. Later in France we changed our minds and thought they were excellent. Sometime after midnight we located an army kitchen and got some hot coffee. Some of us tried to sleep on the benches in the park opposite which we were stopped, but I never realised how hard park benches really were. It got pretty cool towards morning and I finally crawled in under the tarpaulin on top of the baggage in the trailer and got a little sleep. Following morning we drove our vehicles aboard the LST, which is larger than an LCT. Both have fronts which drop down as the vessel hits the beach, and the vehicles aboard run off the ship to the beach over the ramp. The LST has 2 decks, the upper one reached by a large elevator which carries vehicles from deck to deck. The LST was equipped with triple-tiered bunks and blankets for the enlisted men and junior officers. The senior officers had bunks in staterooms. The meals going across the Channel were hot and were really excellent. The whole trip over was surprisingly comfortable. It took practically all day for our ships to be loaded and our convoy formed, and we did not sail till the night of the 5th of July. When we came on deck the next morning it was a beautiful clear day and the Channel was quite a sight. In front of us and behind us, as far as the eye could see, were LSTs, Liberty and Victory ships in double column ploughing across the Channel. Each ship carried a silver barrage balloon extended on a cable from its stern. It was really a bridge of ships. On each side of the double column, destroyers flitted here and there, and off in the distance could occasionally be seen the low outline of a cruiser or a battleship. As we neared the French coast we began to hear the rumble of guns, demolition charges along the coast, and once in a while an explosion of a mine. As we approached Utah Beach we saw a great deal of wreckage, smashed craft and vehicles, and many underwater obstacles, although many of these things had been removed. Our LST beached shortly after noon at 6th of July, and we drove ashore over the ramp formed by our dropped bow. The beach traffic was fairly well organised, although dozens of ships were lined up on both sides of us discharging their loads onto the sand. We drove over a sort of highway marked by the vehicles along the beach, then up a ramp built through an opening in the sea wall onto the land above. Beach, strong points and enemy gun emplacements which had been captured or smashed were of course visible everywhere. We began to see minefields placed by the Heinis, marked with a skull and crossbones and the words Achtung Minen. They told us the white signs marked dummy minefields and the yellow ones the real thing. As we went inland we saw the barbed wire entanglements and the French grey stone houses which had been wrecked by the naval and artillery shells, and also small fields of crosses where the dead had been buried.